Hi there folks, it's David Donovan from Independent Australia. I'm here on the ground in Fadden in advance of the by-election that's happening here on Saturday. We're going to speak to perhaps some of the candidates who are here at the pre-polling booth and maybe some of the locals to see what the mood is on the ground here in Fadden. You did mention just off air a little bit about the media, the mainstream media here, with respect to the parties and the independents. Can you just talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, last Monday when pre-poll opened on the 3rd of July, Channel 9, Channel 7 and the Gold Coast Bulletin turned up. They took a photo of the assembled candidates. Almost all 13 candidates were present at the time. They only interviewed the LNP member. In fact, they did a clandestine press conference a block away with Laura Gerber, a state LNP member, and none of the other independent candidates or minors or micro parties were invited. On Saturday, Barnaby Joyce was here at the Helensvale pre-poll, and commercial TV networks, Channel 9, Channel 7, ABC turned up, and from another candidate has told me today that ABC was instructed to only speak to the LNP and Labor. So there's 13 candidates and 11 of us are not getting a fair hearing in mainstream media. But, thankfully we have independent media to rely on. And as I've always said, if you want the truth, then go to independent media, because you won't get it from News Corp, you won't get it from Channel 9 and you won't get it from Channel 7.
So just to reiterate, you're saying that the ABC journalist that came out here was told, or told you at least, that they were instructed not to interview any other candidates apart from the two major parties?
That's correct. That's what I was told by a fellow candidate who approached the ABC and asked for an interview so that the people of Fadden can make an informed choice on by-election day by getting to know every candidate in this by-election. And my fellow candidate was told by one of the ABC staffers that they were not interviewing all the candidates, only the LNP and Labor. And that's very, disappointing behaviour from our national broadcaster. I expected better. I thought the ABC would at least be fair and give all candidates a fair hearing. But unfortunately, they seem to be acting like News Corp rather than the ABC.
What I do see here is the problem is, and this is, I was so glad to be able to talk to you, the major media stations, and I'll name names, you can edit them out if you want, but the Channel 9 news crew, the Channel 7 news crew and the ABC news crew came down, and they showed absolutely no interest in any of the candidates except the Liberal Party, the LNP candidate. They squeezed in a little bit for the Labor candidate at the end, but they did not offer any other party the chance to even say hello on camera. And that happened on two occasions. It happened at Runaway Bay and it happened again here. It made me very angry, because we are supposed to be a nation of equality where everyone gets a fair go, where everyone in politics gets to state their message and let the voters decide. You're right, mate. It's not up to me or to you as individuals to decide what should be shown to the people. The people should be shown everything and be allowed to make a fair choice.
What's your opinion about the ABC's attitude? I was told that the ABC reporter that came down here, said that they had a direction that they were only allowed to speak to the two major parties.
I have heard that as well. It is hearsay, but I've heard it from different people, and it's consistent with what happened. Right. Look, it stinks regardless of whether it's the ABC or a commercial station. Yep. And the commercial stations, you could say, well, who are they receiving their orders from and why are they receiving those orders? And does that then become election interference, where the TV stations with the highest viewership in Australia, who have licences issued by the Australian government, are so blatant about trying to manipulate elections by refusing coverage to anyone that's in opposition to the party that their bosses support.
Yeah, they were here on Friday, the big fanfare with Barnaby Joyce, and I'm not sure who the other one was. Yeah, and I actually went over to Channel 9 and I approached them and I said, well, you know, are you going to give One Nation the same time? Malcolm Roberts is going to be here on Monday, definitely. And I actually, you know, said to them, will you come and, you know, give us fair time? And they more or less said, oh, you have to do a press release and let us know, and then it's up to the bosses of Channel 9 whether we come. And Malcolm was here all day yesterday and nothing.
I think with a 10.6 percent margin that, you know, it goes without saying that there's going to be more attention to the LNP candidate.
My views, I think it's going to be a tighter election this time on Saturday here in Fadden. Whether it's going to be a change in the party that holds this seat, I'm not so sure, but still it's very interesting to hear the views of all the different candidates. Thanks very much. Signing out of here, Dave Donovan for Independent Australia.